All right, welcome back. This is episode 19 of Youngzers. We're live. We're starting off with an ad, I think. We got Dan here starting off episode 19 with a free ad for Turner's Premium Iced Tea. Dan, what do you got?
There's nothing that a somber day, a really gloomy day, can't get kicked to the curb by some premium Turner's iced tea. And I said on the last pod, if we hit 75 subs on YouTube before this pod, that I drink a gallon. Well, that didn't happen. So half gallon during this pod, I guess. I'm gonna take it easy, but if somehow we're gonna keep a live watch, that our numbers keep going up on YouTube. So if we hit it mid pod, I will finish this half gallon of iced tea,
And
premium Turner's iced tea.
I'll be popping the
Honestly,
zinni.
respect for that. Robert, what about you? What's your
I'm gonna be
thing?
honest, dude. Dan, me and him always have a friendly competition when it comes to the Xbox. I see him going off, I always have to pop off. He sees me going off, he always raises his game. I'm gonna double down and say we hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year.
Okay.
One of the
That's a month.
episodes, one of the
Yeah.
episodes, I will drink a 12 pack on episode
I like it. And you know what?
of a nice Bud Light.
That same pod, Tyler Foster tweeted at me when I said that I was going to drink the gallon of Turner's. He said, make it a gallon of milk. And I said, if we hit 100 subs, I'll do a gallon of milk. There will be a vomit alert, so you know. I've done it in the past. Can't hold it down. It's very thick, very heavy, but I'll do it. There's incentive out there, people.
You
Not
sure?
only is it grade A content, but you're going to get some grade A visual content too, and you might hear some things. You might hear some things.
So
I'm still-
Dan, what about if we hit it before Christmas? It's a gallon of Turner.
Eggnog.
Oh,
Gallon of nog.
could you imagine the thickness? I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm here. I'm committed. I'll do it. A gallon of eggnog, that's fine. The Turner's nog, that's fine. I'll do it.
I'm thinking, like, what should I do then? Should I do like a whole taco 12 pack, like during the pod? Like, I don't know.
I will say, if anybody in the pod knows, I am the eating guy of the group. I could challenge a lot of eating challenges. Mott's, who you got in any eating competition, buddy?
I got Dan over you, honestly.
What?
I'd take Dan over you.
Yeah.
I might put you fourth in the pecking order.
Yeah,
Robert.
you might be
Wow.
fourth.
Wow.
Oh, I
That's
don't
a
know in
fun
here.
thing.
I mean, I don't know.
That's
I don't know about
I
that
think
one.
you know a guy, right?
We might have to have like a little in-house challenge or something. Robert's recording. We'll have to upload it as a YouTube short.
Too bad Quaker Steak doesn't have the unlimited wing nights, all you can eat wing nights, because we would get some electric content out of that. The four of us heading there.
Did I ever? We're already gonna start off the rails, but I have to tell this story because I just told it the other day. I was at work. We were talking about Quaker Steak, and did I ever tell you guys about the time didn't get thrown out or nothing, but I left without paying my bill?
You'll dine
So-
and dash.
So it was all you can eat. I sat down, I ate the triple atomic, so you have to sign the waiver and stuff. And our waitress was like, "All right, everyone's paid." Blah, blah, blah. I was trying to hand her money. I was like, "Okay." So I put my money back in my pocket. We go down to Dairy Queen, stop at Dairy Queen, get some Dairy Queen on the way home, and I'm just dying the whole ride home. And I ended up getting a Facebook message from the general manager at Quaker Steak at the time up in Cranberry, which it's not there anymore. So he messages me and it says, "Hey, you seem to have left without paying your bill last night. We need that payment, blah, blah, blah. Or we're going to contact the Cranberry police." And I'm thinking to myself, it was like a $22 bill. I was like, all right. So I messaged him back. I'm like, sorry. I tried to give the waitress my money. She said everyone was all paid. We're all good. We all left. There was a big group of us. And I was like, here, I'll give you my card information over Facebook if you just want to run it. No, I need to see you. I said, okay. Drive back up to Cranberry, pay my bill. And he's like just glaring at me the whole time. And when I got there, Beard came with me. I had Beard come up with me. So I'm sitting there waiting for him to come over and take my card information. It was like a half hour I sat there. And he's just taking his good old time. And he's like, you can't be doing stuff like that. That's just not right. Dipping out on the bill and stuff. I was like, buddy, it's a crime under $1,000. It's a misdemeanor. And I truly did not mean to skip out on it. So you want to be like a big jag off about it? Like, don't come at me like that. And then a few years later, me and a bunch of work buddies went up there. Last time I was up there, and the same manager was there, and he would not stop staring at me. So I don't know if I had like a wanted poster back there or something, or they're like, "Don't serve this guy," and we had terrible service. So, and I even told the guys at work, I was like, "It might have been my fault, so I do apologize."
I mean, there was a reason it closed, so we'll just blame the general manager and just move on. Hey,
Big bald guy. He was yeah, he jag.
Honestly, Quaker steak overrated. Bottom tier wings. I'll say it. I don't care. Name any other place, any mom and pop place. Like their wings are better than
Mom and
Quaker
Pa.
steak.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
like people used to get them at the Pirate game all the time. I mean, they're still there. Like they're gummy wings. It's not enjoyable to eat wings at a baseball game. That's just, no. Too messy. It's 80 some degrees in the summer. Like, you got to give it up. Give it up.
All right, so we're starting off the rails. Let's get into it a little bit. Let's do a little Steelers preview. Steelers don't play tonight, so we're getting this pod out early. We're kind of doing a Steelers preview for Monday Night Football. Steelers, second primetime game of the year?
Yeah.
Second
last.
They got kicked out last week.
Yep.
That would have been not a bad primetime game. That's a one-score game, but that Chiefs Chargers game, that was a lot better, so I'll give them that. But Steelers Colts. Colts are actually favored by 2.5, so field goal. It's at, I think, Indy, right?
It's in Indy. Yeah.
So what do we feel? What do you feel is going on this game? I say, I think Steelers have the edge. I'll take the Steelers points. I think it's a pick 'em, but
I'm taking the Steelers. I mean, you look at Indy's roster; they have a lot of people out. Not a lot, but Shaquille Leonard's out on defense. Offensively, you bottle up Jonathan Taylor. I'm not scared of an 80-year-old Matt Ryan with no receivers around him. I'm not scared of Sam Ellinger. The QBs stink. The line stunk this year. The Steelers can contain Jonathan Taylor. It's game over from there. I think the Steelers, I'm going to say it. I'll go Steelers by 7. Steelers by a touchdown. That's my prediction.
Honestly, I dare say the Steelers are feisty. They're not good, but they're feisty.
Did you say they're scrappy?
Yeah, they like to put their lunch pail on their shoulder, walking to work every day. I don't know. I see them as gritty. They're gritty and feisty. They're not good, but, they catch them on the wrong day. Colts decide to sleep, might get popped.
Do we
Any man with two hands.
Do we see a Derek Watt touchdown tomorrow?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the under in plays he's on the field, not even taking the special teams. So he'll see this. He'll see the field 5 times.
All right, Jalen Warren's out, hamstring injury to Kella Witherspoon. So, is this the return of Benny Snell football trademark?
Snell, yeah.
What's the special teams this year? That's always been doing.
Gunner, yeah.
I don't think we see any of that guy. That guy stinks with a capital S.
Listen, he was fine whenever he got rid of the spinning mouthpiece. It all went downhill for him, and I firmly
That's true.
We went over that in past pods.
You know what I'm saying? Players to look out for this week. I think there's going to be a big game from Deontay Johnson. He's been quiet the past couple weeks.
A lot of chatter.
I feel like he's going to have his week. Kenny Pickett will start to throw him a little more. They're just trying to develop chemistry. I think it's easy for 2 rookies to develop chemistry pretty quickly, but the guy that's been there a little longer, it might take him a little bit more. I got more to say on Kenny Pickett in a little bit, but it might be a hot take rolling in pretty soon. But what do you guys think about Deontay?
I don't think that you're going to see much production out of him. I think he's been kind of a letdown this year and not worth the money. And him and Pickett and Pickens have that connection. And like you said, it might be easier for 2 rookies because, they had rookie mini camp and OTAs and stuff like that. So they had more time together. But I think Deontay's kind of the odd man out just because I think Pickett has a lot of trust in Pickens, and even Pickens himself said he's open 90% of the time, which, I mean, you throw him the ball or you put it in his direction and he's going to high point the ball. He's going to, man up and out muscle a cornerback to fight for position to get that ball. Deontay, it's almost, he makes some mental errors, just like was it last week he caught that one for a first down and ran back
Yeah.
behind the chains and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And for like a quarterback, I'm not saying that Kenny Pickett has all this authority and stuff, but do you want to throw to a guy that is going to get to the sticks, or a guy who's going to be past the sticks and then get behind the sticks again? You know what I mean? There's a lot of trust there and stuff. So I don't think Deontay is going to have that big of a. He's not going to have a blow up game this year. I just don't see it happening. What about you, DeVore?
I do not think he's going to have a big game. The person I think that's going to have a huge game is Pat Freiermuth, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
I think Indianapolis's defense, a little suspect this year, haven't been as good as people thought they were. Their two staples are offensive line, of course, which is completely gone this year, and defensively. But I think over the middle, I think he's going to dominate the middle of the field. Pickens, I mean, I think Deontay gets some catches, but I think also Najee has a mediocre game. I just think they dominate the time of possession, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't think Matt Ryan, Sam Ellinger, guys, I don't care who you throw out there. They're not going to move the ball. It's
2 thumbs down. Yeah.
No.
Can I
They're
ask
not
you a
good.
question real quick, DeVore? How do you dominate the time of possession if Najee has a mediocre game? That's all because like the dominated time of possession, you got to run the ball efficiently.
Well, I mean, looking at the offense though, it's dink dime. You know what I mean? They're gonna throw 3-yard passes, 4-yard passes, like they've been doing. Like you saw last week, just open the game, 3rd and 7, like in your own zone, and you have to get 8 yards. You know what I mean, to get past the first, and you throw a George Pickens 3-yard curl. Like what was that call for? You know what I mean? Like that
they
just shows you're scared.
so much. It's
It's-
infuriating.
It's like they're
So-
playing scared, but
That's
at
what I
this
mean.
point, the Steelers have nothing to lose. Like,
That's what they're playing not to lose, and you can't do that right now. Like it's not.
No.
You already lost. You're
yeah, we're basically playing for this point a draft pick that we should be getting the lowest pick possible. We shouldn't be, like, I hate to say it, but we shouldn't be trying to win. I feel like we should be going out there, gunning the ball, making risky plays, like make it exciting at least. As a fan, that's what I want to see. Like a 3-7 team, I don't want to see you throwing check down like passes to your running back. Or I don't want to see you throwing sideline curls like Roberts said. Like, who cares? It's not like you're trying to win the game at this point. Like, just be scrappy and like try to make some exciting plays. Give the fans something.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
No, you
just-
got to take those shots. Like it's boring football whenever and the Steelers, okay, run on first down, little out route, and it's 3rd and 6. You throw short of the first down, and then you're punting. I don't want to see that. And I'm going bold prediction for tomorrow night. I'm going Pat Freiermuth 2 touchdowns and a Philly special-esque George Pickens pass to Kenny Pickett for a touchdown. I'm going off the wall.
that was not on my bingo
That's
card.
the stuff they need to do though, to reel the fans in. Like,
Yeah.
and like it's stuff like that when you have a mundane offense like the Steelers. Like you got to throw plays in like that to kind of keep the defense on their toes and like even just respect you a little more. Like if you come out in your first series and you throw like a flea flicker or something like that team ain't going to take you lightly anymore. Like a lot of these teams are going to play are going to take the Steelers lightly. Like we should try to run some play that's like, hey, we're going to try to hit you in the mouth right off the bat. Like we're not taking you seriously. So I don't know. It's more of a mental game that we should try to play too.
It's just we saw like last week they were talking about it. That team is built for 15, 16 play, 9-minute, control the ball, not the Kansas City Chiefs like we see tonight. Josh Allen, you see all these teams, 4 plays, 75 yards, minute 30 on the clock, and it's not that type of team. And
No.
I want to see it like that though, but it's not going to be like that with Matt Canada calling the plays. So
I think it's more like you said, drown out the clock, keep your defense off the field as long as you can, because the Steelers' defense is explosive. You give them a 3 and out, and then they're off the field for 5-10 minutes. Like come right back out and give it your all for like 2-3 minutes again. Sit down on the bench for another 5. Like that's what they got to do. Just give your defense some time to rest so guys like T.J. Watt can make a play.
Yeah, and to reiterate your point you just made, TJ Watt makes every play doesn't take a play off, 100%, 110%. And then you'll see, like, he'll come out at key moments of a game, so if you do control the ball for 5-6 minutes, he's got to blow for 5-6 minutes, every other possession. I mean, you're going to be fresh whenever it's a key time of the game, and he can maybe stay out there instead of going to get that blow.
Looks like Big Ben was so efficient. He could manage the clock. Like, say what you want last year, but it's not like the offense was coming off the field every 2 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I saw.
That says it took 2 minutes to scrape him off the ground. He couldn't get up. He needed a life alert by the end of the season.
But going back to the receivers, I forgot to add this point about Deontay. I feel like he's on, like, the trust tree. He's lowest of the pecking order. I feel like it's definitely Pickens one, Freiermuth, and then I feel like he trusts Zach Gentry more than Deontay Johnson. Like, last week during the game, Zach Gentry was getting more looks, I feel like, than Pat Freiermuth here and there. I don't know. I feel like for some reason he just doesn't trust them, or they don't click well. Like Dan said, it's just starting to show, like, it's not worth the money we gave him.
No.
And, like, to once again back up your point, your tight ends are supposed to be your safety blanket. Look at Heath Miller for years with Big Ben. Oh, there's Heath. Let me just check it down to him, because he's sure-handed, and your tight ends are supposed to be sure-handed. They're big guys. Yeah, they help in the run game, but they're sure-handed over the middle. And whenever, like, say what you want about Deontay, he's got drops at key times. You know what I mean? So would you really trust him? Like, you put the ball right in his breadbasket and he drops it, or makes a mental error, as in coming back behind the sticks. If that's a key moment of the game and you got to keep a drive alive, let's say it's a 3rd and 8 and you just gained 12 yards, but you actually took 4 yards off, 5 yards off, and you're still behind the sticks. Now you got to punt. You know what I mean? So I think it's a lot in trust, and he just doesn't show that you should trust him if you're Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree.
And if your first two plays of your drive are duds, like, I just feel like I haven't seen the Steelers come back, like, 3rd and long very often. So, like, the first play is very key. And whenever it's like a 2-yard dump off to Najee, or like a run up the middle that gets stuffed, like, it's just frustrating to watch. Like, it's the same stuff. It's rinse and repeat every week. And, like, we've seen it more often than not. I feel like it's the same script every week, and the game hasn't been played yet, but I feel like that's kind of what we're going to see. But the Colts defense is a little more leaky than teams we've already seen, so I have a good feeling about tomorrow. I have a positive outlook on it, but I feel like if we're going to at least win a couple more games, this is going to be one of them.
Yeah, yep. Prime
Has to be.
prime spot.
Has to be that and the Falcons.
Let me ask you guys a question. If we keep having the same rinse and repeat attitude about what we talk about because of this offense, doesn't it show that the offense is very predictable? And if you're a defensive coordinator trying to scheme up against this offense, like, they're not going to come out with they're not going to establish a run. So then they can't get their pass game, as well as they want, because now we can double guys. We don't have to bring another guy down in the box, and play man on the outside. So as a offense, like, doesn't the offense need to change?
Well, yeah.
What needs to change there?
I know.
You know what I mean?
The background, like, up. It's just a blurred one today, but the Fire Matt Canada is still in full effect.
Okay.
I just don't think he's an effective offensive coordinator at the NFL level. He had some decent success in college, and not all coaches are cut out for the NFL. Look at Matt Rule, fired by Carolina, gets another big job with Nebraska.
Right back in Nebraska.
Yeah, there's some people that just can't coach in the NFL, and Matt Canada is one of them. I will go on and say that. So his offense is vanilla, it's bland, it's predictable, and in today's NFL, that is the blueprint for failure. And I rest my case.
Like Dan said, like, if we're predicting it at this point, these NFL guys are a lot smarter than us when it comes to this thing.
Yeah.
So, like, if I'm half these teams, I'm not even putting a linebacker in the middle, because we never throw to the middle. Then half the time, the front five, they just stop the run anyway. So what's even the point to put a linebacker out there when we throw to the sticks every time?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be the most frustrating thing is, like, we know it. You know, so why are the Steelers so bullheaded to not see that and not hear it from the outside? You know, Mike Tomlin has, you
Mhm.
know, Art Rooney has, you know, these guys hear it. So like, part of me thinks that they don't want the change because then they're admitting that they were wrong. And they
Prideful.
Mike Tomlin's never been like that. You know what I mean? He's not going to admit he's wrong, but it's just frustrating. And we'll keep talking about the same thing. Like, oh, well, here we go, boys. The Steelers put up 17 points, only had 200 yards of total offense. Najee got 45 on the ground. It's just going to be the same old, same old. The end of the year can't come fast enough for the Steelers team.
Agreed.
I'm like, yeah, I feel the same way, and I hate to say that because I look forward to the games every week, and it's just like the same cycle. It's you're hopeful most times. There's been times this year where I'm just like, it's not happening. We're gonna get killed, which it ended up that way, especially against Philly. I saw that one coming from a mile away. But it's just get your hopes up. You think things are gonna be different, and then it's the same game plan. It seems like, and they never adjust. They never adapt, and it's just like it's frustrating whenever the team doesn't adapt at a professional level. I just didn't understand that.
No, I agree 100%.
Yep.
But do you guys want to hear my hot take on Kenny Pickett?
Yeah,
It should
let's
be
hear it.
good.
I don't know if this is going to upset you guys or not, especially Dan and Roberts. I don't think Andrew will care. But watching the game last week, or I didn't get to say this, but I thought to myself, I was like, Kenny Pickett, his ceiling, it's not Josh Allen, it's not Mahomes. His ceiling, at best, I feel like he's a Joe Flacco. I feel like that's
Ooh.
as good as he's going to get if he
Joe
gets
Flacco's
it.
got a Super Bowl though. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I don't see him being that takeover guy. He's to be that fringe elite guy at best. At best.
So like a Kirk Cousins, kind
Yeah.
of Derek Carr.
Yep.
With now, if you put the defense around him like they have,
Yeah.
sure, I wouldn't complain because that's how Joe Flacco got his ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That defense
exactly.
was stellar.
Peyton
Yeah.
Manning at the end of his career, give him a good defense.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying he's horrible. We haven't. I'm not going to make that call yet. I'm not anti Kenny Pickett by any means or anything like that. It's just it's too early to tell, and I think what I'm seeing now, like they certainly don't have the offensive line to help him out at all either.
No.
And he makes the rookie mistakes like any other rookie does. But from what I see now, it's just I see him as a control the offense, like eventually learn to not make like doy plays kind of thing.
Yep.
And just put your defense gives you a position to win. I feel like that's how it's going to be. That's always kind of been the Steelers' way. We kind of found a gem with Big Ben that was here for 18 years, but
Do you know how hard it is to draft a franchise quarterback? It's really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like some organizations have never done it. You know
and
what
look
I
at the
mean?
Browns, look at the Texans. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, just even with Jacksonville,
they're still in
like,
trouble. Yeah.
I mean, Jacksonville ended up beating the Ravens today. How about that?
I mean, if a guy like Blake Bortles can take you to the conference championship too, like
Because their defense was phenomenal.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
You don't always
So,
need to.
like, I'm not going to sit here today and say, oh, Kenny Pickett's ceiling is a Joe Flacco. Because we don't. It's his first year. And like everyone says, oh, look at Peyton Manning, his first year. I understand that. I'm not saying he's going to be a Peyton. He ain't the gunslinger out there. But all I'm saying is, give it 3 years and then we'll see.
Yeah.
Then we'll address where he's at. If he's making leaps and bounds and he's looking great. And a lot of people think, oh, well, Mahomes is great. Mahomes didn't play his first year. He sat behind Alex Smith for a year. So he and Alex Smith was serviceable. He was very good. So we just got to see where Kenny's going to be at in a few years, and if they put the right pieces around him with an offensive line and they keep the weapons, decent receivers, keep Najee healthy, and also keep the defense top tier, making splash plays like that.
So who would you say? I know you're saying you don't want to predict early, but throw a name out. Who do you think? Like what you're seeing now, like just a bold prediction. Like who do you think? If you had to compare him to,
I'd have to compare him to like a Kirk Cousins, honestly.
Okay. That's fair.
Like middle guy. He's not terrible, but he's not your top echelon. He's not your Josh Allen. He's not Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. He's not your top three. I wouldn't even say Joe Burrow.
Honestly,
Joe Burrow. I wouldn't.
He's fringe elite, I'd say.
I mean,
Right.
Kirk Cousins, Kenny Pickett.
I said Derek Carr.
He'll win you some
It
games.
says upper middle guys. He's upper
Yeah.
middle. That's what I'm thinking too.
Absolutely. And like you're not gonna peeve me off by making it take a hot take like that, because I can see it. I'm not, just because I'm loyal to Pitt. He doesn't play for Pitt anymore. You know what I mean? He's a Pittsburgh Steeler, and I'm gonna say how it is. I'm not one of them people to be like, well, he's a Pitt guy. I don't care if he came out and stunk the joint up. I'd be bench him, cut him. You wasted a first round draft pick on that, but he hasn't really stunk it up too much. You're gonna have them rookie growing pains, and it happens with everybody. Nobody comes right into the league right out of college and just lights the world on fire. It doesn't happen. Completely different speed of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that's the reason they took him too, because this defense is more win now, and I feel like NFL ready quarterback, take him. Like I see it there, because they couldn't really wait till next year. I feel like.
And here's
rose-colored glasses. Like wait for one of those guys.
Well, I have a question for you, because everyone says, "Oh, they should have waited till this year." What college quarterback has lit the world on fire that you're like, we should have drafted that guy?
None.
We should have waited. Nobody.
I'll
Honestly.
never trust an Ohio State quarterback.
No.
Like
And I don't like if you take them guys and you put just white colored shirts on them, right? And I don't know what college they're from, and I just watched the film. I'm not gonna be blown away by any of them, even numbers and none of that. You know what I mean?
Class, I think, had like a lot of potential and obviously a lot of hype coming into it. You had C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis, Anthony Richards. You had a lot, and I don't think any of them really this year did anything to raise their stock and say like, all right, like a Joe Burrow, like he's going number. That
Trevor Lawrence, they're going.
Yeah,
they never did anything.
I don't see that. I see a lot of teams taking these guys obviously early in the first, but I don't think there's really a consensus. I mean, C.J. Stroud didn't do anything against Michigan. It's not like any of them are lighting the world on fire. So I agree with that. I don't think there's really like that generational prospect. In last year's draft, definitely. This year's draft, not really. It's just going to be one of those drafts where a team falls in love with a quarterback that fits their style. And that's how they're going to be, that's how I see the order being taken.
What ends up happening is like somebody from like Mahomes, he went to Texas Tech, right? And he was drafted in like the 4th round. Yeah. Or like a Josh Allen. Well, Allen was still in the 1st round, right? From Wyoming. Yeah. But still, you're going to get one of them guys that falls to like the 3rd round, 4th round. And you're going to be like, he could have went in the 1st round. But, and they're going to be the ones that you remember from. Then you're like, was he a 1st round draft pick? Like 5 years from now, and you're going to be like, no, they picked him up in the 4th round. That's what I see happening. I don't think any of these big names, that potential 1st rounders. I just don't see it happening with this quarterback draft class.
Name to keep an eye on for quarterbacks late rounds. Sean Clifford, the net.
He ain't
actually no. I actually support him because I saw that clip. I told Andrew last night. There's a viral clip of him on the bench telling his boys, "We need to cover." And that, it's Sean Clifford. Don't like Penn State, but if you're for the betting world, I support you.
Roberts, do you think he gets drafted?
No.
Do you think he gets signed?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, someone signs him. Yeah.
I mean, between the balls on the bench, that's about it.
No, he could probably he throws a nice ball, and that's the thing. Like you ask any like scout, like they want to see arm strength and like, is it there now? You know what I mean? So
almost everybody that goes out will get they'll sign as an undrafted free agent somewhere, get cut. 1st round of cuts. That's Sean Clifford. Trace McSorley's still in the NFL. I mean, let's put that way.
I was up in the leaderboards.
I wouldn't rule anything out. That's because he was there 8 years.
Here's like Sean Clifford. I'll say he's average at football. I'd say he just plays the game. He's out there doing whatever. His best stat isn't throwing the ball. His best stat isn't like being able to see the open receiver. He's not accurate. His best stat is he thinks he's good. Like that's his best stat. His confidence is so high on himself. That's where I think. That's his best stat. And some people, they just fake it till they make it. I could really see him making like a 3rd string quarterback roster somehow, some way. I don't know.
Is he the next Nate Peterman?
No, Ben DiNucci. That's his.
Andanucci.
That's his ceiling's Ben DiNucci.
All right, fair enough. Fair
Or
enough.
who's that guy with the long neck? What's his name from the Giants? Matt.
Josh Rosen.
No, Matt something.
Not Matt Buckley.
He
Good.
played on the Giants last year. Long neck, like long neck.
Mike Glennon?
Mike Glennon, yeah.
No,
That's his ceiling right there. Just like a meme in the NFL.
that's fair. Hey,
Well,
other NFL news. I don't know if anyone saw this today. Did anyone see Cleveland trying to copy the Steelers now? I don't know if anyone saw that.
No.
So, Acrisure got the pigeons. Did you see what was running around in the bleachers in Cleveland today?
Oh God, it was probably like rats or something.
Worse, a skunk.
Oh,
I'm not shocked.
The
I've
only
been to that city.
There's only two things I could clear out an entire section of people in that stadium that you don't want to get close to: a skunk and Deshaun Watson.
True.
I'll say that right
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
they don't
you're
have
not wrong.
massage parlors in the stadium.
now. I'll take my chances with the skunk.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that's
Robin
such like a
Tubbs.
Cleveland thing. Like, at least Pittsburgh had like some kind of flying bird that pigeons aren't clean, but they're gritty animals. That's like a Pittsburgh kind of thing. But like Cleveland, just to have an animal in their stadium that its best traits blowing shit out of its ass, like that's just prime. That's just prime for them.
It's probably its
I've been to
goo,
that
honestly.
city, and
yeah.
that's Cleveland as an animal, right? That's their spirit animal. I'll say it.
We've been to Cleveland a couple times. The skunk may be the Cleveland version of an air freshener for them. That
The
may
skunk
actually
might be the cleanest thing in Cleveland.
I was just gonna say it's probably the cleanest thing in Cleveland. Like that place is a dump.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
yeah. It's
Hey,
got its own stench. Like anybody who's familiar with Edgar Thompson, U.S.
Yeah.
Steel down there in Braddock, that's what Cleveland smells like. It's even worse though. That burning sulfur.
We got burning paper
drive-
almost kind of smell like
Yeah,
Yeah.
the drive-in, there's really just piles of coal and it smells like hell. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you could call being sprayed by a skunk. I guess that's a
Don Cliff. Hey, stream clip that.
misspeak there.
Oh man. A conk, huh?
What is a conk?
I don't know.
I had a stroke there. No. You get sprayed by a skunk. That's like I want to say Cleveland showers being sprayed by a skunk.
Could be a
That's,
voltage shower, yeah.
yeah, that's about it.
Dude.
Dude.
All right. Any final predictions on the Steelers?
I just looked. I saw today that the Bears keep losing. That pick for Chase Claypool keeps getting better and better.
Yep.
That's what I saw today. Other than that, I think the Steelers win. What about you boys?
Final score prediction, Roberts. You go first.
27-21 Steelers.
Damn, you took my score. I'm gonna go I'll go 27-20.
Take the over.
Dan?
I'll go 24-10 Steelers.
All right.
I'm not even gonna take the points. I'm taking them to win outright. Give me on the money line.
You know what I'm doing? I'm going Monday night. Both teams know the spotlight's on them. 42-35. Absolute shootout.
Wow.
So you're saying the over betters are
Take the
loving
over.
this one.
They don't call it undertime.
That's right.
Overtime winner.
Line. Billy Roberts.
Overtime winner, flea flicker to Derek Watt. That's my winning touchdown.
That happens. I'll wear
right
my
there.
shorts next
If
episode.
that happens, I'll drink a gallon of Turner's and a gallon of milk all in the same pot.
Mix it. You got to mix it too.
That's fine if that happens.
Imagine that.
What if you just want to say Derek Watt game-winning touchdown or overtime?
You know what? I'm so bold. If Derek Watt scores a touchdown at all,
I'll drink. You know what, Dan? I'll drink the milk. You drink the tea next episode.
all right.
In all honesty, who do you think has better odds of scoring a touchdown, TJ Watt or Derek Watt?
TJ Watt.
TJ?
TJ Watt. Yes,
Well, there's definitely odds on that. Actually, let me see.
there
this.
is.
I'll go
Look
look
him
it
up,
up right
Rob.
now.
So,
I got
before,
it.
before we get off the football subject, can I give the update on the punishment league that we're
Yep, that is true. I
let's
was
do
about
it.
to say.
Please do.
So there's a couple people that are safe and locked in.
I'm one
Gary,
of them.
Gary, Luke, no. Roberts is closing in on that. And
Potentially me.
Me and Ryan. That's it.
Potentially me.
Two-
I'm 99%. I got that 1%.
So the three that are basically locked in right now to the losers bracket: myself, Mr. Couch, Jake Guard. Now here's where it gets interesting because
You just doxed them.
Dan and I have been saying we're going to drag somebody down to the losers bracket with us. And as the matchups shape up next week, I control three people's destiny, and one of them's coming down into the losers bracket. So after this week, it's going to be Neil and DJ playing each other next week, and then myself and Mario. And as much
Dude.
as I hate to say it, I could throw this game to Mario next week and make the loser of Neil and DJ drop into the losers bracket. So right now, I'm entertaining offers. You know, Rio, you want to buy me a jersey? You won't have to do a punishment this year. That's a pretty fair trade. And in the other case, DJ, Ohio State got absolutely embarrassed on the national stage, and I just want that to compound. I want you to come into the losers bracket because Dan and I, we're waiting for you. Your team's falling apart a little bit. A lot of injuries. I think the people want to see a DJ punishment. I want to see it.
And here's where I stand. Oh, I'll never do a punishment. I ain't gonna be down there. All that smack you were talking at the beginning of the year. We just got done drafting, and you were like, "No, I'm set." You were raising the banner already for yourself. So you know what, bud? I'm trying. You know, I'm the little bird in Mott's ear here, telling him, "Hey, I think you might throw."
I might have to
And
rest my starters for a playoff or the losers bracket run. What do you think? I mean, Roberts, what do you, Ryan? What do you?
You know, there might. You know, I did get called out for collusion at the beginning of the year, but it's it's a gentleman's league, but we like to see a little, maybe a little spice added to the pot. So
I mean, if I forget to set my lineup, I can't
True.
do about that. I mean, hey, I'm moving next weekend.
yeah, busy
I'm
guy.
busy all Sunday. If I forget to set
no service. What if you have no service?
I might not have no Comcast internet installed yet.
That
So
is true.
DJ and Neil, you better be. You guys both have my number. Mario, if you're listening to this too, which you don't, I know that, but I expect some offers to be coming in because I hold 3 of your fates in my hands right now.
Last thing to add before this, I have the odds right here. Derek Watt, anytime touchdown scorer. I had hit show all twice at the bottom of the list on FanDuel. Derek Watt plus 2,500. Matt Ryan is at plus 1,300 to run one in before Derek Watt scores a touchdown. And the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is at plus 800, by the way. So that's where that bet stands, Ryan. But, Dan and I we'll entertain it.
I'm all for it. If that's what we'll shake on it virtually here. Okay, so if Derek Watt scores a touchdown tomorrow, Monday Night
toes
Football,
were crossed.
on the big stage, prime time, Monday night,
there's no way.
I'll drink an entire gallon of Turner's tea. And you know what would end up happening? We had 100 subs on YouTube, so I'll have to drink 2 gallons.
I mean,
that is impressive.
I'll have to split that up. We can't have your bladder exploding on live.
Don't worry, I got a shit
to
bucket.
that.
I'm trying to follow right now, by the way. Number 1 UNC is in triple overtime against Alabama. So, it might be a little trouble in paradise down there in Chapel Hill. I know Roy Williams isn't coaching anymore, but his vertigo is probably flaring up and he's laid up.
Like old Jimmy Boeheim. Did you see him
started with Jimmy Boeheim?
Oh, yeah. Did you see him try to go after that? What college was that?
Pants again?
No, there was some little college they lost to. And there was a scuffle at the end of it and stuff. And Jimmy Boeheim tried to grip up the coach and intimidate him, and that coach wasn't having it.
Listen,
how old was the other coach? Because
he was younger. He was younger.
How's he trying to use his grippers on?
I wouldn't say he was trying to. He was just you could tell he was pretty close to him and was trying to give him the intimidation, basically just saying, I'm Jim Boeheim, you don't do that shit to me on my court or whatever. It was basically what he was trying to do, and that other coach was not having it.
I bet his threat was, I still have my driver's license. That's what he said.
I don't soil myself.
Yeah,
if you're driving crazy, silent under 5 miles per hour.
If you're a commuter or a pair of Hanes underwear, you better be deathly afraid of Jim Boeheim because he does not have a good track record with either of those things. I'll keep it real with you. I mean, I won't be scared. Yeah, if I'm coaching and a coach that wets his pants on the bench is trying to intimidate me, I'm just laughing at that point. Like, buddy, get some rubber drawers and get back over to your bench.
You get a depend and put her on the bench.
Do you guys want to do that idea that I told you, maybe a couple weeks ago, where I hate to say it, but football season's ending. We're gonna need more content, and college basketball is one.
Yeah.
So I was thinking we randomize the AP top 25, spin a wheel. We each get a team. We each got to follow them. Some kind of ranking system, some kind of winner, some kind of loser. Not to the extent of our punishment league, but just a little friendly gentleman's kind of thing, where maybe a top
Say we all lose 5 gifted subs to twitch.tv/call couch.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
something
you know
like
what
that.
I mean, like that.
Something like that.
Should we
fine.
open it up to whoever wants to join? Like set a deadline, keep it
Yeah.
interesting. A lot of people. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll do like 25 at most.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. But if
yes.
yeah, yeah, I like
Can
it.
we make an exception for Pitt? They should be in the top 25.
No,
No.
All right.
no,
Maybe bottom 25.
no, they're not. They're not bottom, but
Oh, they're bottom. They're
I
bottom.
don't
bottom.
think they're
Also,
NIL, huh?
Also, we are sponsoring a bowl game. I'm making the Duke's Mayo Bowl the official bowl of the Youngsters podcast.
I
Duke's
thought we
Mayo
were-
might be better than Hellman's.
What about the Meineke Car Care Bowl? I mean, that's always a. That's all,
Thinking, yeah, Roberts, what's your favorite bowl? I know what mine is. My favorite low tier bowl. What's yours? You're gonna guess the same thing I do. You're gonna say it.
Probably Papa John's.
I don't think that's a thing anymore, but I'm a big fan of the old pinstripe bowl. That's the most useless bowl.
new era pinstripe.
Yeah, I like
That's-
the
that's
little
not-
Caesars.
I don't think they have that because I looked through the list.
They don't have Little Caesars no more.
I don't think they do anymore.
Or Papa John's.
Well,
I don't think they-
Papa John went off the rails permanently. I mean, he ain't.
Oh.
Actually, before we go to, it's bowl season coming up here. I actually have something to say about this. The halftime tuition throws for the Dr. Pepper. If you throw it like this,
Chest pass, yeah.
they shouldn't even count this. I'm sorry. Hey,
I'm sorry, they should actually deck you. Like
if you're
full on
throwing them
have
like this,
man there to punch you.
no, stop. It's
I
you gotta
have
get
to
that.
agree. Yep. You're there to throw a football into a hole, not a basketball. Like I have nothing against basketball, right? Thumbs down, right? Right, coach?
Yeah.
Thumbs
yeah,
down, right?
Exactly.
You ain't chest passing a football. Tight spiral.
You know what would keep them in line? They're going for that little chest pass, and you just hear the revving of a Ford Focus behind you, and Jimmy Boeheim's behind the wheel, ready to go.
You know what? Like,
I'm in line.
I know it's for free tuition, but where do we draw the line that we're not throwing tight spirals anymore?
That
Started,
should
the one person they had a big debate about that. Like the one guy was actually throwing tight spirals, and I'm not trying to bring men versus women in here, but the girl was throwing the chest pass, and then that's why they said you're allowed to do that now. That's where they said because his family was saying that's not legal or anything like that.
It's. I mean, if there's no.
They didn't say it, until they put it in.
Rules are rules. Yeah, if there's none of them, hey,
Yeah,
I'd cheat. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's right. Viva la raza.
Facts.
So since we moved into college football, what are our predictions for our teams? Penn State absolutely dusted Michigan State this week. Won the something trophy. I don't know. Looks stupid.
Some
Very
respect.
stupid looking trophy. Giant box. I'm thinking orange or Rose Bowl. Orange or Rose Bowl for Penn State. Probably orange. I don't know if they're gonna let Ohio State play in the Rose Bowl again because they played in the Rose Bowl, I think, the past 2 years.
2 years, yeah. I mean,
So are they gonna give Ohio State another Rose Bowl? Or are they just going to honestly kick Penn State down to the Sugar Bowl or something? I don't know. What bowl? Something.
Dan, I know you're not an Ohio State guy. What are your thoughts? Because Ohio State kind of got manhandled on the national stage, and they got, let it be known, manhandled in the horseshoe.
Yeah. It was in the shoe. So here's my thing. You can't have more than, 2 teams in the big bowls anymore and stuff like that because they try to even them all out. Ohio State is higher ranked than Penn State right now. I mean, neither of them are playing in the Big Ten championship. So is the Rose Bowl the big one for the Big Ten now? It used to be the Pac-10.
Yeah, it's that and then the Orange Bowl. The Orange Bowl, it's either Big Ten or someone else. Long list.
Right now, the way I'm looking at stuff, Ohio State's 5. That's not going to change.
Penn State's 8, though. Are you really going to
I understand that. No. So here's what I'm thinking.
Bowl? I don't know.
Ohio State's going to play in the Rose Bowl. What are the 2 big bowls for the semifinals? Do we know?
Is it
Regardless.
Fiesta.
Fiesta and not Sugar?
So Ohio State's going to play in the other big bowl because you're going to have Michigan playing in another big bowl. So you got your two representatives in a Big Ten out of the Big Ten. Is it right? No, because Ohio State got absolutely, mollywopped at home against their biggest rival, Michigan. No, it's Michigan. You say it with an EM. It ain't the team up north. Okay, enough with the slander. If everyone was out here saying stuff about Ohio State, the doors would fall off. Like Jesus, like you guys slander Michigan so bad, and then they finally come into your house and they blow the doors off you. That kid ran whenever he wanted, however he wanted, and he was dragging people, pushing people on, little boy and everybody out there. But that's besides the point. Unfortunately, you're going to have Ohio State in like the Rose Bowl. Penn State's going to just miss out on one of them big bowls. That's and here's the other thing.
Right?
That's still semi-big,
Yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing: you're going to have like Georgia's going to play in one of the big bowls for the SEC, and so is Alabama. So Tennessee's going to miss out barely.
Well, gratefully so. They lost their quarterback too.
I understand that, but you're still sitting there at 10-2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, as it is right now, like probably as it'll be right now. I mean, there's still next week, obviously, is going to shake some stuff up potentially. But it'll be what, Georgia and USC and then TCU, Michigan?
Yeah.
That's what it would be. Yeah.
Now, I think even if – oh, no. See, that's tough because if Georgia would go into the SEC championship game and lose to LSU, you're going to have some shake up there. I don't think Georgia falls out of the top 4. Michigan goes into the Big Ten championship. Who do they end up playing?
Purdue.
Yeah. I don't see them losing, but if that happens, Michigan's out of the top 4 altogether, guaranteed. And somehow they'll put Ohio State up there.
No,
you know what I mean? They will. I'm telling you.
No, they won't.
So here's the shitty thing about
they're both 10-1, or they'd be 10-1, right?
Yeah.
So like a loss to Purdue is worse than a loss to Michigan at that point.
It is.
So I think they do move Ohio State up.
Yes.
If that happens.
So here's the shitty thing about the committee and what I don't agree with. So they'll take your strength of schedule, your wins, losses, and all that stuff, but then they take prior achievements. So, like, let's say, like Alabama, for instance, that's why they're always with 2 losses.
They're gonna find their way somehow back.
They're number 6 right now. So if one of them top 4 teams loses in their conference championship, Alabama will be in the top 4, and it'll be a damn disgrace. Because they're like, oh, well, they were national champions or they played for the national title the past 6 years. I don't care. They're 10-2 right now. They're 3-2 on their side of conference play. Like, they're middle of the road in their own conference. Like I don't want to see Alabama, but somehow they'll sneak up there because, prior achievements. It's same with Ohio State. Same exact thing. It's so let's say USC or TCU. Let's say they both lose. Ohio State, Alabama will find their way in. It'll be Big Ten and SEC only in the playoffs, and it'll be a damn shame.
I don't think none of the 4 lose up top. I think Georgia, Michigan, TCU, USC. I think they run the table. That's to me. I think that's going to be a awesome matchup between TCU and Michigan. Heavy hitter run game versus a heavy hitter defense, and then Georgia versus USC, who could score the most points? Because neither, you know what I mean. Georgia's defense is good. We'll see how good Caleb Williams actually is.
Yeah.
I just really hope that it's not the same as last year, where Cincinnati was just kind of like frauds, but they made it. I feel like TCU's going to put up more of a fight than they would have. But did Cincinnati really get beat that bad from what I remember?
Yeah, they got trounced. Yeah.
So I remember I was angry about that. I was like, I hate these teams that have like mini cupcake schedules and then they beat a decent team, which the decent team that TCU beat was Texas, and Texas is poo-poo. They're 2 thumbs down, poo-poo caca. So like, I don't know. I don't know why they're there.
Texas ranked 21st. They're 8-4. You know what I mean?
That's their big win.
Yeah. And here, to your point, Ryan, it's happened every year. Like when Boise would run the table and be undefeated and they wouldn't get selected for when it was just 2 teams playing for the national title, or UCF.
Washington started it.
The year Penn State got screwed over and should have made it, the Washington Huskies, they got bounced off like it was nothing.
That's the thing. You get these smaller D1 schools that are like, oh, we should play for a national title. And then they get fucking trounced Like, look, for Christ's sakes, look at Notre Dame that year they played Alabama, and it was over in the first quarter. You know what I mean? You could tell it was a JV team versus a varsity team. It's
Shut up,
just
man, Teo.
it's just a different breed. Like, you can't, as a smaller D1 school, you can't compete with them powerhouses of the SEC, Big Ten,
Yeah.
ACC. You know,
Like-
even like
like
the
can strike,
Pac-10.
Yeah, like lightning could strike, but it's not going to happen often. I take it Dan is officially an anti-participation trophy guy.
I am. I really am. And it's just like, sorry to cut you off, but there was a few years ago, James Harrison was still playing ball, and his sons just started playing. I think it was Pee Wee, or it might have been like junior high, and everyone got a trophy. And he gave that trophy back because you don't deserve it just because you played. You know what I mean? Go earn a championship. Go earn your accolades. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about it. Because you're not going to get anywhere in life if you're just handed stuff because you participated. No, you got the doors blown off you by 45 on national TV, and now you're an embarrassment.
Yeah, I mean, like, good for you for being there, but what looks better on your program in the long run? I don't know. Making it to the playoff does like hold a lot, but what if you would have won like a higher tier bowl that wasn't the playoff? Would that be better than absolutely getting trounced in like the playoff? Or
I
to
think
say
so.
Cincy would have won like the Peach Bowl or something. Do you think that looks better than them getting blown out by Georgia?
I think for a program like that, yeah, like you're undefeated, you win a pretty big bowl game. I think that helps recruiting more than okay, like you go undefeated and then you just get absolutely mollywopped. You know?
Because wouldn't you rather have a chance at an undefeated season than going into an absolute powerhouse school? Because that just I feel like that sours the season. Like you're 10 or 12-0, and you're one of these small D1 schools. Don't you want to end on like a big win at a decent sized bowl game instead of, hey, we have 2 shots? Because chances are you're not going to, even if you do win that first round of playoff, odds are against you that second round even more because you're that 4 seed going against the 2 seed. Like you have to beat the first seed and the second seed, pretty much.
If you're one of those mid-major programs, schedule one of the big boys as your non-conference. You know, make it close, beat them. Then by the end of the year, okay, you have a good win. You know, you have the resume. That's what they're good teams. Like there's no doubt about it. But there's just a distinct difference between the not the Penn State, the Alabama, Ohio State, Michigans, and then even honestly, I'd say like the Tennessees, the Penn States. That's like they're good programs, but they're not quite elite yet, or they're getting back there. There's a difference between that and like a Cincinnati or UCF. You catch lightning in a bottle, whatever. But like these, Memphis is you're not gonna do it.
And here's the thing: let's have Cincinnati play in the SEC for an entire season.
Yeah.
Do they even have 4 wins? No. And I'm a firm believer of that they might beat Vanderbilt, they might beat
Missouri,
Kentucky.
Rutgers.
They're going to beat the
Arkansas.
bottom of the barrels of the SEC, and that's it. And then they're going to get dominated by the big dogs who always dominate the SEC, the Georgias, the Bamas. Now you're seeing a little bit of a resurgence of Tennessee, but then like even back in the day when it was Florida, you know what I mean? The powerhouses. Like look at Florida, for instance, was a powerhouse in the SEC. Now they struggle to break 500.
I'll tell you what team really fell off, and this isn't even a dig at Pitt or anything, but Miami has fallen so
They're
far.
terrible.
Oh yeah,
that is terrible.
Like you have Ed Reed dancing on the sidelines, down 35, like asking for calls. That's just you just know your program shot.
Yeah.
And that's a damn shame for the ACC with Miami, because like that would be a key matchup. Miami playing Florida State, that was huge. Miami was always like, I wouldn't say a powerhouse, but they were sneaky, they were streaky. And it also doesn't help that they can't fill that stadium either. Where do they play? The Orange Bowl or whatever?
Hard Rock Life.
So they, that hurts too. You know what I mean? Like
that's the only 2. There's 3 people. Well, not 2. Pitt and Miami, the only 2 college teams that don't have a college stadium. They play in the pros. Those are the only 2 because Minnesota just built theirs 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So like
That's why I feel like the ACC, I feel like it's on its way out. Like I feel like there's 2 conferences that are be relevant: Big Ten and the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
And like you see, like even USC and UCLA, they're jumping ship. So who's in that conference now? Oregon. Washington. No, I don't see anybody else. Cal.
No.
Is Cal in that? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cal.
Stanford's coach just left Shaw. He just said
Yeah.
peace.
I feel like these
Arizona.
conferences are going to get realigned really quickly, and like a lot of teams are going to start jumping ship, and there's only going to be like maybe 4 relevant conferences or even 4 total. But
That's all there needs to be right now with
Yeah.
the way that their playoffs are set up. But even if it does expand to say 12, it would be easier. Your top 2 teams out of each conference get to go, and then you have like a mini conference championship, and you take a third out of each conference. You know what I mean? So then you have your 12 teams. But there's always an odd team out because of the 5 power conferences. But when's the last time there was a Big 12 team in there? You know what I mean?
That's why I'm glad they're expanding the playoff too, because it gives these fringe teams a chance to at least have a dog in the fight.
Yeah.
Like teams like Tennessee who have a good season. Like even though I don't believe they'll win, even if they were in it because they're quarterback, but like it gives them a chance, like to even just play.
Let me read this off to you then. So your top, let's say 12 teams: Georgia, Michigan, TCU, USC, Ohio State, Bama, Tennessee, Penn State, Washington, Clemson, LSU, Utah. So your Penn State Nittany Lions would be in there as an 8 seed. You know what I mean?
And like teams like Utah too, they get a chance. Like how often do you see Utah in the top 10 or 12 even?
Yeah.
I get top 25, but like this
And that stadium was rocking that night we watched at your house. The Utah, that place is filled. Their fans came out. It just sucks seeing. I mean, we say it every year. Just who wants to see Georgia versus Alabama every year?
Yeah, I feel like teams like Utah should have a chance to knock off a team like Georgia. Because who knows? Like, that's a different brand of football out there. Like, they might have Georgia's number. They never get scheduled Georgia, but they might play a good game against them. And, what was it, like 12 versus 1 upset? Hey, it's just like March Madness.
Yeah.
16
Has a
versus
1
1
ever beat a 16?
Yeah.
One time.
Last year.
Or twice?
Once.
Okay.
UMBC, was it the Retrievers or whatever? Golden Retrievers? I forget who it was. USBC, UMBC?
UMBC.
But like, that's the thing. Like,
BC, yeah.
And I like seeing those, like, I guess you out of conference play, your non-conference games. I love seeing that, like the powerhouses. Like Florida State played like Oklahoma State quite a few years ago now, to open the season. Right after they came off their national title and Jameis come off his Heisman.
Crowd
to
like
open the season. Yeah. But like, you would get that, Matt. You get Utah, Georgia, Michigan, LSU, Clemson, TCU, Washington, USC, Penn State, Ohio State, Tennessee, Alabama.
Well, that's the thing. You'd have to rearrange because they probably wouldn't allow Washington, USC. You know what I mean? But like you
wouldn't have a Tennessee, Alabama. You wouldn't have.
No, that's what I mean. You'd have to move.
Yeah.
You'd have to move and stuff. But like, it's just.
You could flip that around. So it'd be Bama. Let's say Bama jumps Ohio State, right? Oh, he couldn't do that.
But like, you get to see somebody like Tennessee versus Penn State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like we saw a terrible Pitt team somehow keep it close. You know what I mean? Like, you think Penn State? Like, I'll admit it right now. Penn State is 10 times better than Pitt this year. Like, that'd be an actual good game with the healthy Hendon Hooker. Yeah, that's a game I want to go see. But you're gonna get 14. You're gonna get 4 teams.
And I think we're being as people who enjoy college football, or even the casual fan, I think we're being robbed. We really are, and we have for years. And how long we wanted a playoff for years, and now like we have the playoff, and we want a little bit more. And you're not asking for too much. You know what I mean? Here's the other thing. Why do teams need a month off before they play the national title? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could have some games leading up to that, and not just these bowl games where everyone makes a freaking bowl game. You can have games in a playoff, an actual playoff that means something leading up to that.
Do you I really think this is wrong, but do you think it's because like schooling and winter break with the students, or I know that's like a dumb thing to say, but do you think it has to do with that maybe, or like? Because there's no way they would make more money during the holidays watching, and like during that week of, say, Christmas into New Year's, where everyone's off work, everyone's off school, and everyone's watching football and everyone's hanging out. The weeks before the holidays, those are kind of hectic. I think not as many people would be even watching. That's why they have these smaller bowl games.
No, if you'd put the right matchup out there, so you're telling me if you got a LSU, Michigan, you wouldn't clear your schedule on a Saturday to watch that or a Friday night to
I
watch
would. I
that.
feel like it does
Right.
better at that week of, between Christmas New Year's. That's just how it is. I don't know.
And
That's
the,
fair.
the thing that I'm trying to think about here is you look at now with the NILs, like kids don't even touch bowl games anymore. They're like, I'm going to go, I made my money in college now. Peace, I'll go make it in the NFL too. You know what I mean? Like you see
So-
all the time now. Some of these kids aren't going to play in these, Cotton Bowls, all these, like not New York Six Bowls, but like just to go get ready for the draft because they made what $3 million this year.
Yeah.
So Roberts, do you think Jordan Addison plays in whatever bowl he's in?
Yeah.
Think so?
I mean, they're in the championship. Yeah.
If they aren't, though.
I mean, yeah, probably to raise his draft stock. He didn't play that much this year. That's the problem. He missed what, 5 games, 4 games.
Got hurt. This is just a heads up. I'm watching the end of this UNC Alabama game. UNC turned it over off the inbounds, down 1, 4 seconds left. So Alabama's end of the line. It might not be a great day to be a Tar Heel. I'll keep it
Just like
100.
Saturday, huh?
No
Those
comment.
honestly might be my worst fans nowadays, to be honest. Like, and I'm not just saying that to like. I just think they think they're better than everybody else. Like, I think they're worse than Ohio State fans now.
What
Just
about
because they have Jordan. Like, that's their only claim to fame is Michael Jordan.
I
you
think
compare
Alabama's
them
worse.
to I think you could throw a blanket over Penn State football fans, UNC basketball fans, Alabama football fans, and it's like the same people. You know what I mean?
I don't think Penn
Lakers
State's
fans.
on that level. I think Alabama and Ohio State are worse than Penn State, honestly.
What happened?
Look like a guy tried to draw contact, completely bricked the 3-pointer. Final 4 overtimes, Alabama 103, UNC 101.
Yeah.
All right, so do we want to move on to Penn's hockey?
Yeah, let's get in some
Talk about
hockey.
Penn's hockey. Honestly, not a bad week. I think one loss, right? Yesterday
Yeah,
to the Maple
yesterday.
Leafs. So, honestly, a good week for the Penguins.
No.
What the hell?
Oh,
My camera like next to my phone, like my Skype, and I don't want it to ever.
That's
Could
It's
have
the
been bad.
thing.
Could have got a shot down south, folks.
Stand next to me, but nice
But
try.
anyway, good week for the Pens. Solid couple games. What are they 3-4 or 3-1?
3-1 over the week. Yep.
Yeah.
From November 20th to the 27th. Well, 26th. Yeah, 3-1. They won against the Blackhawks 5-3, Flames 2-1 in a shootout. The Flyers, 4-1, and then last night they fall to the Maple Leafs.
I
Played
think
them
that's
for the
just
third time
back-to-back
in 15
games.
On a
though,
back-to-back, though, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. Stick tap of the week, Marcus Pettersson dropping the gloves with Delorier. Known goon, known fighter, heavyweight. Marcus Pettersson might be 180 soaking wet. Guy took a run at Dan's favorite player, Chris Letang. And Pettersson, Delorier was like kind of shocked. He was like, "You want to go?" Pettersson dropping the mitts, holding his own. The only 2 like real shots that Pettersson took were when the linesman was slow to get in there, and Delorier kind of took some, the cheaper shots. But that's what you expect from the city of Philadelphia. But it was good to see John Tortorella and the Flyers lose. It's always sweet watching either of them lose. Now that they're both in the same, like he's in the same city, and it's just
Under
it
the
just
same
makes
roof.
it sweeter. Yeah, that much sweeter.
And
So
it wasn't even a fair fight because the guy dropped the gloves before Pedersen was even aware and was already punching.
Yeah.
So that guy, I'm using it. I'm breaking the glass case.
Here we go.
No twigs, no berries for that guy. If you're trying to scrap, at least, and when you're a known like goon and a known fighter, and to like basically take like a low road like that against an inferior opponent, Marcus Pettersson. I don't know if he was worried about Marcus because he really didn't have a chin, so you can't like hit him in the chin because it's literally just like his chin. It's like his mouth, and then it just goes like
yeah.
he's got nothing there. But kudos to Marcus Pettersson. I'm indifferent about him. Don't like him. Don't hate him. He's just kind of there for me. He's just kind of in the void. I don't know.
He's been their best defenseman this year.
Yeah, I don't like him. Don't hate him. He's just there for me. I don't know.
As a defenseman, that's what you want to see. That he's steady, does his job, limits the turnovers. he's dropping the mitts when there's no need for him to, and no one expected him to. But that's the kind of teammate you want in the locker room. Marcus Pettersson, stick tap for the week.
I mean,
Well, that's your defensive pairing too. You know what I mean. So you're gonna go to bat for that guy a little bit more than you would maybe somebody else, because then you think like, if it's a forward, going down, maybe you do. Maybe everyone's looking at you, but maybe somebody else on his line drops the gloves. But that's your deep pairing. So I'm okay with that.
Teddy Blue's out there. He's always willing to be a punter. That's Ryan's favorite Penguins forward there.
He's literally like, I compare him to a crash test dummy. Like he has like the yellow and black like safety symbols around him, and they just like throw him into situations where he gets his ass absolutely beat. Like, didn't he have to have his jaw wired shut like this summer or something?
That's from a hit he took though.
Yeah. Well, either way, they just send this guy in for absolute failure. He's a tough guy. Like, I'll give him that, but he just doesn't know when to quit. Like, I don't know if he has any like, what do they call them, pain receptacle or receivers like attached to his like nerves, because he just goes there and like his limbs will get bent, twisted, and he just looks like a pile of scrap. Like, he goes down, but he gets up. I'll give him credit. But that dude has been like, I've never seen a Penguin that has gone through more bodily harm than that guy. I don't know. I can't think of one.
Bennett.
Oh, Bennett.
Well, that was self-inflicted. Didn't he just get hurt all the time? Like,
all the time, yeah.
But this guy just gets cleaned and just wasted
he's just
kicking though. That's all that matters.
He's like a cockroach. Like,
he just doesn't go away. He I'd honestly probably compare him to AB. AB he just doesn't go away.
Well, yeah, but
plus Vontaze Burfict's coming across the middle, and he goes away to the locker room.
Yeah,
it's all right.
I was watching. Speaking of like AB and that whole situation, I was watching like NFL karma moments on YouTube. I was just bored. And the best one that I saw was like the most recent. Juju filming TikToks on the Bengals logo, doing all his stupid dances. And then you guys remember that he does a little crossing route, just gets absolutely blown up by Von Bell for right off the bat. Like, love to see it. Cut that shit out. That's just annoying, but
he didn't put that shit on. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
People also forget that Juju Smith-Schuster fumbled away multiple games for us, and we ended up not making the playoffs. I don't forget.
Saints, Ravens, and somebody else. Colts.
Yep. Colts or Chargers, one of the
Colts.
two.
I'll say it. The Pens are back.
Yep.
Crosby's buzzing. That's all I'm saying.
He looks good. Congratulations to Gino on 1,000 games.
Did you see Crosby very uncharacteristically kicking the boards? What was that last night?
Yeah.
He doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve too much. You know what I mean? He doesn't like to show that he's frustrated or boiling over. So something must have got to him there. I couldn't really pinpoint what it was.
I think I could add to that. I think it's because isn't he a Montreal Canadiens guy? He's a fan, right?
Yeah, but they played Toronto.
Yeah, so he probably grew up hating the Maple Leafs.
That's fair.
Probably hates
That's fair.
Right?
I don't think he was Montreal because he grew up in Nova Scotia. And Montreal, ain't they? They're French Canadian. You know what I mean?
He was also like he was a known Canadian.
He might be a fan of Montreal.
I think that's Letang. Letang is the Canadians, as is that's where he's from.
I think Crosby is too, though.
Same with Marc-Andre Fleury.
I don't know.
He was too. They're both French Canadian. I can't stand them French Canadians.
Whoa.
Good mustard.
We can label ourselves like not a fan of French Canadian podcasts. I don't know. Jerry still
probably can't.
I'll give him props on the mustard.
Never had their mustard. I don't care to.
Mustard sucks. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, mustard's A1 condiment.
Mustard.
What about honey or regular?
Any.
Stone ground is the best. Stone ground out of that little jar if you find it. Good stuff.
I'll tell you what, had some great mustard this weekend. Pub 333 down in Oakmont. The Cuban sandwich. Love a good Cuban sandwich. Mustard.
Good place. Can't beat down there, brother. Oakmont, A1 restaurants down there.
Yep.
Actually, is that it for the Pens?
Yeah, I'm done with them.
Breaking news, though. Luke Fickell from Cincinnati going to Wisconsin. Big Ten loading up.
Sorry, real quick. Penguins, one last thing. People forget They were on their 7-game losing streak, and they got out of their funk once Kasperi Kapanen became a healthy scratch. So
Correct. Yep.
we'll forget that.
Yep.
We don't Kasperi.
All I'm saying is people were gonna write them off, and the Pens didn't write back. I'm just telling you, they could have been buried by this week, and they're not. They got the Hurricanes coming up. That's gonna be tough. Knights, they're playing tough. And then the Blues on Saturday. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So got some tough ones in, and then they got a cupcake on the 6th of December. We'll get into that next pod. So I'm not going to look too far ahead. But they got 3 tough matchups coming up here. So they could either have a 4-game skid, or they could play the Hurricanes tough, the Knights tough.
I say 2-2.
Okay.
Also, since we're moving on, Pirates playing the parade. It was Diego Castillo this time.
I'm checking out.
Carlos Santana.
Carlos Santana. Start playing the parade. That's all I'm saying.
And G-Man choice. That that's a lot of meat there in the lineup. So one's going to be your DH, one's going to be your first baseman. Yep.
Claim Lewin Diaz off waivers from the Marlins. So once again, it may be the off season, it may be late November, but never a bad time for Mr. Nutting to go dumpster diving. So he's up to his usual bag of tricks. I love how Dan's checked out just like I was at the end of the Pirates season. I agree. That's all the time I'm going to cover.
The season of nutting? Is he making moves?
You know why I'm checked out? Hear me out here. You know why I'm checked out? Because I'm tired of seeing memes about sign Cody Bellinger, sign Aaron Judge. I'm tired of hearing about it. You ain't even
number one call.
You're not even gonna sign somebody out of like AAA. Like, come on now.
Oh man. Brother, people expect, they said the bare max that they said the Pirates would sign Cody Bellinger for is $21 million. He could go make that in 1 year somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's terrible. And then the Ohtani memes, the Judge memes, he ain't coming.
Rubber stamp it. Poverty franchise until they get back to the playoffs. Poverty franchise. Sick of them. The Quaker steak wings down there, gummy wings. They got rid of Manny's barbecue. You kick out a legend to put a bar in there. That's just a damn disgrace. You don't kick Sam out of center field. I want to smell that smoke from the barbecue coming out of the green monster in the middle, center field. That was Bush League bullshit.
Bad luck from the Pirates. I'm going to be honestly, bad luck.
Did they kill a pierogi off too or something? They're cutting
sure they had to.
Pizza,
or bacon burger.
Pizza or something.
Yeah. They're killing off pierogies.
They're going back to 4, I guess.
Gyms. Manny Sanguian, MIA as far as I'm concerned. Where's Manny? Let's get that trending. Bob Nutting has some answers. You better have some answers.
Nutting. Yep, nutting.
Did. You got to chill.
All right, what are we moving on to? Idiot of the week?
Oh, thank
God.
We're done with that.
Jag of the week. What do you mean? You lose a character.
Jag of the week.
Whoa, we rebranded that guy.
Jag of the week. Sorry, folks. Sorry. All right, who wants to go first? Who got one? Who doesn't?
I don't really have one this week, to be honest. I was working this week, so.
I got one.
Is yours good, or you want me to go?
Mine's not great.
Yeah, mine's decent. It's not a little story, but go ahead.
So I was going to the Wally World to do my Thanksgiving Day shopping on, that would have been Wednesday, to finish up my Thanksgiving shopping on Wednesday. And I'm going through, and I was over there. I wanted to pick up a ham. And this bigger lady parks her cart. So if you've been in the Walmart, there's the wall of meat on the side, and then they got the center coolers, So I'm going down the center coolers looking for a ham, and I can't find one. So she parks her cart coming at me in between the wall of meat and these coolers, and I can't get out of the way. Or I can't get through, and I can't go around because her dump truck's sitting there, so I can't get that through that way.
Wagon.
So I'm like, all right. So I start squeezing through the cooler in her cart, and I pick her cart up and I move it slightly. And her daughter looked at me. She was going to move it for me. I was like, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Well, the mother turns around. I was like, don't touch my cart. I said, you listen here, lady. I'm just trying to finish my Thanksgiving shopping. Don't give me your shit. I'm just trying to get in and get out. I don't want to hear it. Move your cart. You shouldn't have parked it there anyway. And she felt like she was entitled. So for that lady at the Walmart that doesn't know how, traffic works in the grocery store, you're my Jag of the week.
Previously said by Ryan how they drive on either side, don't care. That's
Yep. They don't.
I like, what are we doing? And you want to give me guff because I moved your cart. I moved it maybe 3 inches so I could fit through. It's either that or I was going to come around and, hit you right in the Charlie horse with it,
Society's in ruin, buddy.
It is.
Yep.
All right, Andrew, amigo, or you got one?
I had one. I completely blanked on it, so I don't think I'm going to remember it.
All right. I have two. Which one should I go with? I'll let you guys vote. I only want to use one. I don't want to throw 2 people under the bus. Do you want the guy at Giant Eagle or the guy at the Christmas Village? 2. I got 2. Which one?
Oh, Christmas Village. Come on.
Yeah, he looks like he got that smirk for the Christmas Village. Yeah.
All right. So, it's the season of, just Christmassy stuff. So, me and my significant other, we caught wind of a Christmas Village down in Pittsburgh. So, being the guy I am, just went down to the Christmas Village, just to look at it. Some nice trees, some nice little businesses there, some nice guy blowing on a saxophone, but that's not part of the story. Anyway, this guy, I've never wanted to publicly just deck somebody. This guy would not shut up. He was just complaining over and over. He's like, where are the gingerbread houses? Like, are they here yet? Like, dude, if your biggest concern is a damn gingerbread house, he's all mad. He's like, oh, they moved them away. They're not here. They were here last year. Like, buddy, I don't give a damn about your gingerbread house. I'm stuck on a Saturday night in a Christmas Village. If I have to hear you yap about a freaking gingerbread house one more time, I was going to throw him into the damn stack of Yule logs and break his neck. So that guy, you're my Jag of the week. First of all, you're concerned about gingerbread houses. So that's what I got.
How old was he?
Older than the guy older in the jungle gym?
He's older than me. It's just him and I think his significant other. That'd be different if you had kids with you, but dude, you're by yourself and you're looking for gingerbread houses. Come on, man.
Yeah,
just wait a week. They'll probably be there.
Forest.
Also, check his browser history. I'm making that.
Dude.
His hard drive's absolutely rancid, bro.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, Andrew's
That's
pacing
my
himself.
Jag of the week right there. That's my
be
check
honest,
this
though.
man's hard drive of the week.
Oh,
God, you
Jesus.
can't just say deep dive into his hard drive.
Man.
All right, what do we got? What
I
else?
have a random athlete of the week, but I'll go last since it's that time of the year. World Cup season. Good. That might give some people a hint.
Did we say Ronnie Cedeno yet?
No.
I don't
I'll
think
go
so.
then. It just popped in my head.
I'll go Matt Caps.
Matt Caps. All caps.
Mad Capper.
Matt Caps.
All caps.
I like when he calls the Buckeyes games too. I really do.
Him and Neil Walker are underrated. I'm going to be honest.
They
with
are.
you.
He ain't bad. Oh, someone just got laid out in this Chiefs game.
That game's close for
Pacheco's
some
been getting
reason.
laid out, dude.
They were getting 17, by the way. The Rams.
My Jag of the week. Sorry, I just remembered it. Washington Commanders franchise. Did anyone see the Sean Taylor statue? They put up?
Just a uniform.
It's
It's a uniform on a wire mannequin. Number one. Number two, the jersey and pants aren't even the same. He wore all Reebok, from when he played. Nike jersey, Reebok pants, Adidas soccer shoes. Buddy, Washington Commanders, huge L.
Yeah, that is bad.
It's
It's-
pathetic.
It's not even like that. It was newer stuff too. It was like what they're wearing right now.
Yeah.
disrespecting a legend that passed away like that.
God.
That's just when your
Like-
franchise
like-
doesn't have that many
Those-
legends.
Oh, you can't see it. Those aren't fucking soccer cleats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're disrespecting them. Come on.
A
I put 'em in-
legend.
I might put him in the same boat as Jackson Mahomes, to be honest with you. The
Oh,
whole franchise.
They
That's
might have
bad.
colluded with him to make that statue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a wire statue, though.
Yeah,
How
it's-
lazy do you have to be for,
You got
especially a team that doesn't have many players that were respectable like him?
Yeah.
Come on,
That's
trash
bad.
franchise. Even the Pirates did it right.
Yeah.
The Pirates did it right
Yeah.
with Roberto and all those.
Yep.
Come.
Yep.
Just
That's
disappointing.
bad.
Yeah. Sell the team.
Sell the team.
Agreed.
Robert's give him one.
Look, this is what I got for the Washington Commanders.
Can we get one for the Pittsburgh Pirates too? Can we get one for the UNC Tar Heels? And can we get one for the Ohio State Buckeyes? Let's just round it out. There we go.
All right.
Love
Go
it.
ahead, Drew. Go ahead. You're random athlete, buddy.
Yep.
You got one?
Defenseman Daryl Sador.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. So I was watching the World Cup the other day, and I was I started seeing the Pitt accounts tweeting Jester Weah, former
Who?
wide receiver. His brother plays for the U.S. men's national team. That's who I have. Pitt wide receiver Jester Weah.
So speaking about the United States national team, I saw a TikTok and it was like we sent over our B team and tied with England. Could you imagine if we sent over our A team? I was like, oh, where are they getting at our A team? Zion Williams, Patrick Mahomes playing goalie. They just kept going on and on. All these freak athletes going to play soccer. I was like, that would be a hell of a team. Tyreek Hill just streaking down the side.
Aaron Donald laying someone out at half pitch. Is that what they call it? Half pitch?
Yeah, pitch.
Yeah, the pitch.
Mid
Yep.
pitch? I don't know. All
Well,
wearing,
at least.
all wearing jerseys that say it's called soccer on the front.
Like the 3-man Letterman said on Twitter, these British people are all upset. They're, talking in their slang. That's a lot of word salad to say that your great grandfather surrendered in 1776.
All I'm going to say is you better watch your damn back or your tea will end up in another harbor if you're not looking.
It
Yeah.
wasn't in 1776 either. It's later than that, but I don't care. I'll be honest. I'm going to stick with that because that's the most iconic year right there.
I like it.
True America.
All right, fellas. Anything else before we sign off? Any
That's
plugs?
it,
Anything?
boys. That's it. I will say, am I going to
Yeah.
get any love for the first nuke? Youngzers nuke last night?
Yeah, you
Oh,
did
yeah.
get a nuke.
Yeah.
Our boy got a nuke. Congratulations, Roberts.
I'm
Got a
back,
nuke.
baby. I'm back.
Anyway, is that Pachow again? He got laid out of bounds. Dude, this guy's the next Teddy Bluger.
Check out.
But anyway, we're I think 8 subs away from our sub goal that we set again on YouTube. So
Yep.
we're now posting shorts on there that are doing decent. We're getting some decent action on our shorts. So make sure to please subscribe to our YouTube. Yeah, like and rate our pod 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Music. Follow us on Instagram and also Twitter, where you'll see a lot of updates and stuff like that. A lot of memes. We've been pumping out the memes recently.
I'll give you credit. I
want an apology. I want an
I've
apology.
been
from
pretty
everyone.
Oh no! You
Fine.
sustain
Fine.
this, and then
Dan,
you sustain this, and then you'll get an apology.
Yeah.
It's been a
I'm
week,
blowing
all
up
right.
the
It's been a week that I called you out on it because you want to call yourself the meme daddy or whatever.
All right, memes are done. I'm done with memes then.
Oh,
Then,
No more memes.
then you're not going to get an apology. See,
I want
that's how quick
apologies.
you are, huh?
I'm doing good with memes, and I don't want to look
I
like.
clapped for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Roberts, what about you? You called me out too.
I mean, they're still, they're good, but you could have better. I know your potential.
Oh,
Pie.
better. All right.
Pie. I know your potential. You have potential, buddy.
There's like
right.
a Sunoco in the one scene.
Whoa. Oh no, dude. All right.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Episode 20 next week. Should be a good one. Let's go Steelers.